first of all, there should be 2 to 3 police guards with the gun in their hand, so that nobody with any antisocial things can with them can enter the bank.
Hi Lakshmi, good afternoon. How are you? You're on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. How have you been?
I've been really good. I'm doing really good. How have you been?
I have been also doing great, sir.
All right. Wonderful. Good to see you. Okay, so let's get started with today's session, right? So, anyways, now let's move ahead with the topic of the day. Okay, so the topic of the day is unexpected situations, right?
Yes.
So, unexpected situations. What do you understand by this term?
Yes, sir. Unexpected situation also, unexpected situation means that the situation where we find ourselves that we are in a fix and that we have to just deal with it, and we cannot just get through it without having dealt with. So we have to deal with it with this unexpected situation and maybe successfully because.
Wonderful. That is very well explained. Now, I'll be sharing with you, or I'll be putting you into one of the situations now. Okay. So the situation is like, suppose you are the branch manager of a bank, okay? And like any other day, you are in your office working. But suddenly, some robbers enter the bank with the guns in their hands. They ask all of you to raise your hands and ask you to hand over the keys for the locker. What will you do? How will you help the bank from getting robbed? And how will you manage your scared employees and the entire situation?
Okay. So if those robbers came to the bank and I would have to just save the banks. First of all, if it was a bank, so it would definitely have the alarm, the emergency alarm for the situation like these, that if the bank was going to be robbed and something like this. So first of all, I would make sure to have those all rings just rang, so that everybody would know about the situation, that there was something, the emergency occurred at that in that bank. And secondly, I would try to just help the people, whoever would be at that time in the bank. I would ask them rather to just be at their place where they were, so that there won't be any more rush, or any more rush, so that they don't run here and there. It would cause more ruckus around the place. I would tell them to be just there, and to the robbers, I would ask them to just be quiet and don't create noise. People are afraid. People are being scared of. People are being scared of you. So don't just create too much ruckus. I would just request them in the first place, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Well explained again. Now, what negotiations or conversations will you have with the robbers at that particular point?
First of all, I could not just straightly tell them to just go from here. You're not supposed to be here, so just go away. You're not allowed to come. Of course, they invaded, so they don't need any permission. Secondly, I would tell them to just, I would ask them what your requirements, what do you want, just so that time could be passed. So managing the times, I could not just exactly what they demanded. I just cannot give them straightly. So I would just try to pass the time, so that gradually something could be thought of to make some new ideas, which would help us to get out of that situation. So I would just ask them to just keep going. I would let the situation keep going, and no, nothing not from their side, not from my side. Nothing would be there.
Now, if they ask you for 15 crores of rupees, 1515. Okay, so 15 crores of rupees they ask you, and they say that they will leave everyone unharmed. What would you do in that situation?
Yes, sir. 15 crores, they would definitely, they were definitely supposed to just ask for a huge amount of money if they were robbers.
Right.
So, so there's no doubt if they are asking for a lot of money. I would ask them to just don't just. I would ask them to talk to. We have to talk to our head, whoever the head of the branch. I would have to talk. I would just have to just give me some more. Give me some time. I cannot do anything. I'm the head of this branch. So I would not tell. I would tell them just give me some more time to just think about whatever your requirements are.
I was telling you now that the situation has changed. Okay. Now suppose that they take away the 15 crores of rupees. So you've already given them the money, the 15 crores they asked for. Okay. They take the money anyhow and they leave. What steps would you take after their departure?
Okay. So so right after they took took all the money, I would call the police. In the first place, I would definitely call the police to chase after them and get the money they had taken from the bank. And I would also I would also at that time when they were asking for money or all the situation that were going on at the in the bank, I would try to recognize their face so that if police ask me about how they looked, how they what they had in their hands, what kind of clothes they wore at that time, so I could tell the police that yeah, this is what they wore at that time. This was these were all the things that they had when they invaded the bank. And yeah, so I would go to the police. And there, of course, there would be so many cameras in the bank, so I could also show those camera footage to police. This is what I could do.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay. What security measures would you take for your bank to prevent such incidents in the future?
Yes, sir. As I told you, sir, if the robbers were just invading the bank, first of all, there should be 2 to 3 police guards with a gun in their hand, so that nobody with any antisocial things can with them can enter the bank and just try to harm the people and the bank as well. So I would definitely have those guards in front of the bank. Secondly, what I do, I would uh, I would definitely have extra cameras. I could just have those extra cameras just hanging at every corner of the wall. And moreover, if I talk about some other measure, I can, I need some seconds, sir,
That's
to
it.
think.
Yeah, sure, sure. Take it.
10 seconds later. A few moments later. 2,000 years later.
I could also have at that time some fake notes. If they asked me
Okay.
to give some money, if I had to give them just at the end, I had no choice. So I would definitely try to give that fake money to them. So if they just leave the place, so if they are definitely going to be cheated. So
Absolutely.
could be some
All right.
measures I would take.
Okay. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Now, what? Okay. Security measures we have already talked about. What would you consider leaving the job after such an incident has happened? And would you like to switch the jobs?
No, sir, I don't think. I would like to switch the jobs because wherever we go, whatever scenario we are working in, there are supposed to some problems. There are supposed to some try to some those situation where we have to deal. We cannot just get away with it. So with those problems easily. So I wouldn't try to just leave my job for because of that situation happened. And yeah, of course, there was every bad after every bad situation happened, we definitely take some measures to prevent it from happening further in future. So I would take that, but I won't think of leaving my job. This is not just about threatening, and this is not about it is also about earning. It is also about my what I love to work. So these are so many things get in when we try to think of just leaving the job. So we cannot just strictly leave the job. So I won't try.
Right. Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. Have you ever heard of any such news in with regards to this particular incident of a bank getting burgled, something like that? A bank getting robbed. Have you heard of such news? And when you hear such news, how do you feel at that very moment? What are the things that what comes up your mind when you read such news?
Okay, sir. So I in my area or in my city where I live, I think I haven't heard of any kind of this situation happened in any bank in the city. But somehow I would definitely have read these kind of news on in newspapers. I don't exactly remember all those occurrence when these happened, but I definitely would have read. And if when I think of this situation, what comes to my mind is like they people who just have their account in the bank. They deposit their money so that they can use that money in future. So if they have so much belief in the bank, in the service, that they would help their money to have safe, to not just getting invaded and by theft and just be theft all the money. So it would definitely just make people insecure about the securities, about the conditions that bank provide. So they lose their hope hope in bank that they are going to help in any way when this kind of situation happens, because no one at that particular situation, no one wants to just expense to just risk their life. No one wants. So if at that has happened, so whatever situation at that time happened, this would be just
Okay.
whatever happens at that time, no one just after people would lose their hope. Just this is what I can say. People would lose their hope.